In the silence of the woods, far from the noise of civilization, lives a woman who cannot hear, and must now fight to survive. This is the story of Hush, a horror thriller that unfolds entirely in near silence, yet speaks volumes through fear, suspense, and the sheer will to live. A talented author living alone in a secluded house deep in the forest, she's intelligent, independent, and completely deaf. After losing her hearing as a teenager due to a case of bacterial meningitis, Maddie has adapted to a world without sound, but tonight, the silence will turn deadly. A solitary cabin sits deep in the woods, isolated from the outside world. Inside, Maddie Young, a young woman with striking eyes and a calm presence, is chopping vegetables in the kitchen. The rhythmic motion of her knife is met with utter silence, not because there's no sound, but because Maddie cannot hear. She's deaf, and the silence is her world. Maddie moves through her evening routine with ease. Her cat, affectionately named Bitch, rubs against her legs as she stirs a pot on the stove. This remote home is where she's chosen to live, alone, free from distractions, a perfect space for writing. Maddie is a published author known for suspense novels. But she's been struggling to finish her latest story. She sits at her laptop, typing and deleting, searching for the perfect ending, but none of it feels right. She slams the laptop closed and sighs. Her phone lights up with a FaceTime call. It's Sarah, her neighbor who lives a short walk away. Maddie answers, and the two chat via sign language and some lip reading. Sarah jokes about Maddie's book and playfully insists she should use her own life as inspiration, a strong woman in the woods with no fear. Maddie smiles and nods. After a brief chat, Sarah says goodbye and walks back to her house. The sun is setting now. The sky darkens. Maddie returns to her laptop, briefly glancing through messages and a few pictures. Outside, Sarah walks down the path to her home, but something else moves in the trees behind her. A masked man steps into frame, hidden from her sight. He approaches quietly. As Sarah nears Maddie's porch, the man lunges from behind. He stabs Sarah in the back. She gasps, stumbles, and fights to reach Maddie's door. With blood covering her face and hands, she pounds on the glass, screaming Maddie's name. But Maddie, standing just feet away with her back turned, does not react. She can't hear Sarah's cries. She doesn't see the struggle happening just outside. The masked man grabs Sarah again and stabs her over and over, silencing her for good. He stands there for a moment, breathing heavily, then slowly turns his gaze to Maddie, who remains unaware, humming silently to herself as she stirs her food. The killer steps back into the shadows. Later, as Maddie eats dinner, the man circles her house. He walks quietly, testing windows, looking for ways inside. He picks up her phone, left outside on the porch table. He smiles behind his white, expressionless mask. Then he slashes the tires of her car and cuts the power to the porch light. Maddie notices something strange. The stove alarm goes off suddenly. Confused, she checks her oven, but nothing's burning. She opens the door and steps outside to investigate. There's no one in sight. She shrugs it off and heads back inside, not noticing that her cell phone is missing. Sitting back down at her laptop, Maddie starts typing again. Then, out of the corner of her eye, she sees something outside the glass door. It's a man, tall, still, wearing a white mask. Blood stains his jacket. He holds something in his hand, a crossbow. Maddie jumps back, horrified. She rushes to the door and bolts it shut. Her hands tremble as she checks all the locks around the house. She shuts the windows and turns off the lights. She crawls across the floor and hides near the kitchen island. Her breath is shallow, her heart races. She opens her laptop and types a message in large font. "You can go. I haven't seen your face. I didn't hear anything. I won't tell anyone." She walks to the glass door and presses the screen against it, showing him the message. The man reads it. Then slowly, tauntingly, he removes his mask, revealing his face. He smiles, mocking her attempt to reason. She now knows exactly what he looks like. This isn't a robbery or a mistake. He came here to hunt. Maddie backs away, stunned. She realizes she's trapped in her own home, with no way to call for help, no way to scream, and no one coming to save her. She moves to the bedroom, looking for another escape. Her window leads to a sloped rooftop above the porch. Carefully, she opens it and climbs out. The cold wind hits her face. Below, she sees nothing, but she doesn't know he's already watching from the shadows. She steps onto the roof, trying to quietly crawl across. Suddenly, a hand reaches up. He's there. She kicks him away and scrambles back to the window, barely escaping. Inside, she grabs a flashlight and tries to signal for help by shining it toward the woods. But there's no one around, no one to see it. He's still out there circling, waiting. She locks herself in the bathroom, hands trembling, checking for anything she can use to defend herself. She writes down every possible move: run, hide, fight, wait. None seem likely to end well. Then she hears something, not with her ears but with her eyes. The front light flickers. A shadow moves past the hallway. He's trying to come in again. Maddie's heart pounds as she listens closely, though she can't hear anything. Her eyes dart to the door. The killer bangs softly at first, then harder. She grabs a pair of scissors from the sink and hides behind the door. The knocks grow louder, more aggressive. He wants in. She tries to steady her breathing, signaling herself to stay calm and think. She pulls the shower curtain aside and crawls into the bathtub, hoping for another way out. Maddie realized the killer was right behind her. She felt every second stretch, her senses sharpened by fear. At just the right moment, she dodged the attacker's strike and with all her strength stabbed him. As soon as the knife plunged into the killer, Maddie fled the bathroom. She ran through the house, heart pounding, and quickly hid in the kitchen. But the killer wasn't dead. He staggered after her and soon spotted her hiding. Maddie, desperate and determined to survive, came up with a plan. She grabbed the alarm and switched it on. The piercing sound rang out, deafening the killer, and the flashing light blinded him. Seizing the opportunity, Maddie fought back. They struggled violently. Maddie reached for a kitchen knife and managed to grab it, but the killer, still strong, overpowered her and pinned her to the ground. He wrapped his hands around her neck and began to choke her. Maddie gasped, unable to breathe. Her strength was fading. As darkness closed in, Maddie's thoughts turned to her family. Their faces flashed in her mind, pushing her to keep fighting. Her hand groped blindly beside her until she found it, a corkscrew. With the last of her strength, she drove it into the killer's neck. The killer jerked, stunned, blood pouring from the wound. Slowly, he collapsed beside her. Maddie lay still, trying to catch her breath, her body trembling. She had done it. He was dead. Summoning her remaining energy, Maddie got up and grabbed her phone. She dialed 911 and called for help. Then she stepped out of her cabin, weak and exhausted. Outside, in the cold night air, she saw her cat waiting for her. She knelt down and gently stroked its fur. Moments later, the police arrived. Maddie felt the weight lift from her shoulders. It was finally over. She was safe. The final scene shows Maddie walking confidently through the woods, her cat by her side, ready to face whatever comes next. Thanks so much for watching this full recap of Hush. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe for more movie recaps and great content. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an upload. See you next time.